Hello, this is Matthew Bono, the instructor for Methods in Music for Guitar, and today we'll be beginning a new study on pages 27 and 28, which will be combining single strings, the second, which would be called the B string, and the third string, which would be open G. If you have covered the first and second strings already, you'll see one example where the fingering is the same, where we would have two notes, one fret apart, but because of the tuning of the guitar being different, once we start the third string, the second fingering will be new to us. And that will be where we have two notes on the same fret. And so I like to demonstrate these examples for you on page 27. Example number 1 on page 27 would show a note on the second string first fret. That would be covered by the point finger. And then we would have a note on the third string second fret, which would be covered by the middle finger. And that's how example 1 could be handled by your fretboard hand. Okay? Example number 2 will show two notes on the same fret. And the example I have is for fret 3. And so on this example of fingering, we will have the middle finger continue. This is going to be key. The middle finger will continue on string 3, and the ring finger, or the third finger, will play string 2. So middle finger will be in common where it's an example 1 or an example 2 as far as staying on the same string. So that will be our examples that we'll be using once we've applied strings 2 and 3 together. The type of notes we'll be using in the next few pages, just as a reminder for reading, will be a quarter note, which gets 1 count, a half note or a half rest, which will get 2 counts. Let me bring that up a little closer for you. This will also have a dotted half note, which will get a dotted half note or dotted half rest, which is marked by the little dot. That's right after that. And that will get 3 counts. And we'll also have a whole note, which will use 4 counts. On page 28 now, this is where we'll start combining the single string scales of second and third. We'll play them one at a time first. This top line on page 28 will show a G major scale on second string going from open B to high B. And I'm going to read the fret numbers listed down here below in the tablature. That'll all be second string. So we'll have, hold on a moment, we'll have B, which is open, C on the first fret, D on the third, E on the fifth, F sharp on the 7th, G on the 8th, A on the 10th fret, and B on the 12th. As far as fretboard fingering goes for these single string scales, it's not there's no particular fingering. We're just trying to accurately locate on the second string the sound of the fret number that's listed on the page. So this time, pardon me for a moment, there we go, give you a better view. This time, I'm going to name and play the notes that are on the second string first time, and I'd like you to join with me afterwards to play it through a couple times, alright? So here comes the G major scale on the second string going from open B to high B on page 28. So just follow along for a moment. B is marked as open, C is fret 1, D is fret 3, E is fret 5, F sharp is fret 7, G is fret 8, A is fret 10, and B is fret 12. Now we're going to review B on fret 12, and I'm going to go down reverse. A is fret 10, G is fret 9, G is fret 8, F sharp is fret 7, E is fret 5, D is fret 3, C is fret 1, and B is open. Alright? So this time, I want you to follow along with me and just match the location that's written on the first line of page 28. So this is the same exercise, G major scale on second string going up, going from open B up to high B, and we will go in reverse, okay? So ready? Open B begin, C is fret 1, D is 3, E is 5, F sharp is 7, G is 8, A is 10, B is 12. Repeat B on 12, A is 10, G is 8, F sharp is 7, E is 5, D is 3, C is 1, and B is open. And that will be the single string scale for string number 2. The very next line will show the single string scale for string number 3. G major scale on third string going from G to G would read like this. G is open, A is fret 2, B is 4, C is 5, D is 7, E is 9, F sharp is 11, and G is 12. Again, at this time, fretboard fingering is not of importance at this time. We're just trying to locate the sound of the notes on the page to the fretboard that we'll be using, okay? So, just remember to lift your hand and move once you get up higher, alright? So this will be the second line on page 28, written as G major scale on third string from open G to high G. And I'll play through it once, and then we'll do it together again where we'll go from the open all the way up to fret 12 and then back down again, alright? So just follow me this first time. This will be open G, A on 2, B on 4, C on 5, D on 7, E on 9, F sharp on 11, and G on 12. Alright, so that's all the locations. Come on, join me this time as we play it going from the open, again, up to fret 12, and this time we'll go down reverse. Here it comes. Ready, open, G, go. A on 2, B on 4, C on 5, D on 7, E on 9, F sharp on 11, G is 12. Repeat G on 12, F sharp is 11, E on 9, D on 7, C on 5, B on 4, A on 2, and G is open. And that'll be the sound of the G major scale on the third string. Continuing on page 28 will be our first example of combining the second and third strings together. And I'll be reading, it's going to be called G major scale and second and third strings together. And I'll be reading on the page for you from the second string down to the third, the fret numbers, going from the top to bottom, starting on string 2. It would read like this. 0 and 0, that would be open. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 5, 7 and 7, 8 and 9, 10 and 11, and 12 and 12. And I just want to remind you at the beginning of the lesson the type of fingerings we'll be using at this time. If we have two notes on the same fret, if we have two notes on different frets like fret 1 and 2, it'll be pointing finger on string 2, middle finger on string 3. If we have a combination where both notes are on the same fret, like 5 and 5, the middle finger will stay on the third string and the ring finger will join in on the second string. And that would be example 5 and 5. I'll play through it first time so you can listen and watch and hear the sounds match the tablature markings on the page. This is the third line of page 28 called G major scale on second and third strings together. So just follow me this first time, okay? It'll go 0 and 0, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 5, 7 and 7, 8 and 9, 10 and 11, and 12 and 12. I'm going to reverse it. 12 and 12, 10 and 11, 8 and 9, 7 and 7, 5 and 5, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, and open and open. And that's the sound the second and third strings together. This time I'd like you to join me in matching the sound. And we'll do it at least once, going up to 12 and 12 and back down to open. And maybe we'll do it a second time. Let's see how it goes, all right? I'm going to count you off. Here it comes. 1, 2, open and open, go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 5, 7 and 7, 8 and 9, 10 and 11, 12 and 12, 12 and 12, 10 and 11, 8 and 9, 7 and 7, 5 and 5, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, both open. Once again, start on open. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 5, 7 and 7, 8 and 9, 10 and 11, 12 and 12. Repeat 12 and 12, 10 and 11, 8 and 9, 7 and 7, 5 and 5, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, open and open. And that's our first exercise of combining the second and third strings together. I'd like to do one more before the end of the lesson, at the end of page 28. It'll be almost the exact same fingerings throughout the entire exercise. It's going to move around more. I describe it like this, where G major scale is going to be done in thirds or skips. So allow me to get this up close to you. I'm going to read it again from the skinnier string going down, or from string through 2 down to 3. And so you could see the combinations you'll be placing your hand on the fretboard. So it'll read like this. Open, open, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 5 and 5, 3 and 4, 7, 7, 5 and 5, 8 and 9, 7, 7, 10, 11, 8 and 9, 12 and 12, 10, 11, this next one's new, 13, 14, and 12 and 12. Alright? I'll demonstrate this for you. Okay? And remember, our fingerings, our combinations, will either be point finger on string 2, middle on string 3, or the middle finger will continue to be on string 3 and the ring finger will be on string 2. Alright? So let me, why don't you follow me on this bottom line of page 28, and then we'll play it together a couple times. Alright? So the bottom line reads like this. 0, 0, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 5 and 5, 3 and 4, 7, 7, 5 and 5, 8 and 9, 7, 7, 10 and 11, 8 and 9, 12 and 12, 10 and 11, 13, 14, and 12. Alright? This time I'd like you to play along with me. We're going to do this a couple times. Alright? So have yourself prepared after you do 12 and 12 to go back to the beginning, which will be open. Alright? I'll count you off. Here comes the bottom line of page 28, which is called G major scale done in thirds or skips. Here it comes. 1, 2, open, open, go. 3 and 4, and 2, 5 and 5, 3 and 4, 7 and 7, 5 and 5, 8 and 9, 7 and 7, 10 and 11, 8 and 9, 12 and 12, 10 and 11, 13, 14, 12 and 12. Again. Open, open, go. 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 5 and 5, 3 and 4, 7 and 7, 5 and 5, 8 and 9, 7 and 7, 10 and 11, 8 and 9, 12 and 12, 10 and 11, 13, 14, 12 and 12. And that's our second warm-up exercise called G major scale, duns and thirds, or skips. This is the end of our lesson for our first study on second and third string scale. I want to say thank you for participating, and just want to remind you to stay patient, guide your fingers, and keep practicing.